What's pop? And we are finally here with Draft League playoffs, quarterfinals of the PPL to be precise. And we are in fact in a rematch against Jay, who you may recall we 6-0'd with Tera Water, Coil, Dragontail, Dudunsparce in the regular season. Fun times for sure. And I fully expect him to be thinking about that Pokemon in particular when building his team versus us. And speaking of his team, he does have a slight change. No longer does he have Volcarona, he now has Skeledirge. Coincidence? I think not, for drafting the unaware Pokemon after getting swept. But he still has a lot of threats on his team. He's got Greninja, Baxcalibur. Alolan Muck I definitely think is a respectable Pokemon due to the fact that it's his best answer versus Hoopa, because it's his only Mon that can really reliably spawn Shadow Balls. Greninja doesn't really count much at all. And Galarian Articuno's there. Now, I do expect him maybe not to have Tera Orthworm this time. Last time he had Tera Orthworm, so we have to kind of adjust, right? We won last time like in a landslide. Big 6-0. Was pretty crazy. Didn't really get to show off some of my other Mons, but he knows the sets. It showed the sets in my game that I played versus him. So he has a better idea of what to expect now. And me, I have to try to think about how to adjust. How do I adjust in this matchup? Because I feel like he's going to prepare a lot for Tera Dudunsparce. And so, as a result, I chose not to bring it this time around. Instead, I'm bringing Hoopa, as you can see right here, my mascot. Because if this is potentially the last game of the season, which it might as well be, I want to end it with Hoopa, right? I want Hoopa to be there by my side, at least for this one. So yeah, definitely excited for this matchup in particular, but it's going to be a tricky because he's going to be able to adjust too, and we have to try to figure out what he adjusts, right? And so I'm thinking that his adjustments are going to be tailored towards beating Dudunsparce. So Skeledirge is there, of course. He did mention that he might bring Encore on Uxie. Perhaps that could be there as well. Or it could be some kind of a setup set. It could be a very offensive team that he brings. Last time he had a lot of defensive pieces. So I don't know. I definitely think Baxcalibur and Greninja are 100% coming. Alolan Muck I'm thinking as well. Galarian Articuno, every time I tested with Joey, he brought that Mon. That Mon was so annoying with Tera. Because his Tera captains are Galarian Articuno, Electrode, and Orthworm. Galarian Articuno is a huge threat. Electrode, I mean, it kind of reminds me of Jolteon. If you remember from the last time we played, it was pretty good. I mean, it was a tough Mon to switch into, really powerful with choice specs. He could bring that potentially, but yeah, we'll see. Though I do think that, yeah, if he wants to bring Hazard Control, Serena's the only one he can bring, but I don't know how good it is against me. Good Quacklevolt check though, I guess. Sandy Shocks is there as well to deal with potential Tera Water or Flying Dudunsparce. And Tauros I think is always good, but you know, it's always dependent on you know, what I bring, I guess. Since what I got here is quite the team. Now, I decided to start with Meowscarada. Exact same set as before, Muscle Band and 4 attacks. However, I am running Sucker Punch this time. This is my adjustment. Is running Sucker Punch this time in case of a potential Swords Dance Ice Shard Baxcalibur. I have Sucker Punch which can out-prioritize it. And Sucker Punch is just great in general versus a lot more offensive pieces if he decides to switch it up this time. So that's why I have that. Otherwise, it's just a solid Mon overall. Flower Trick, nice critical hits, and it goes through screens as well, which I've seen him bring before, I think. And yeah, enough speed to outrun Greninja. Quacklevolt set is going to be different this time. Once again, more adjustment here. Lumberry instead of what I had before. I think I had Protective Pads before for Flame Body Volcarona. Now we got Lumberry for potential Will-O-Wisp from Skeledirge, or from Thunder Wave Uxie, or from Poison on Alolan Muck. I think it's overall better of an item on this Pokemon, and no bulk up this time. I'm running 4 attacks. Aqua Step, Close Combat, U-Turn, and Aqua Jet I think are great moves overall, and this Pokemon is super offensive. After 1 Aqua Step, we outrun Greninja, and very offensive. It's a pretty good snowball piece right here that could potentially sweep a team if we get knockouts. Then we have Hoopa, Assault Vest Chinese EV Spread Hoopa, and I love this set a lot. I mean, it's just able to sponge hits really well from any kind of Pokemon. 2-hit KOs Galarian Articuno with its moves, and yeah, just a solid special sponge for the team. I do like Knockoff in particular because if Alolan Muck tries to switch in, we can knock off its Black Sludge or whatever item it has and wear it down a lot easier over time. Then we have another AV Mons. We got the double AV, Hoopa, and Ursaluna. Some of my favorites kind combinations to run with these two is just so nice. Like Tera Fairy Hoopa is super nice with Tera Blast because it can destroy Greninja, Baxcalibur, as well as some other stuff, I guess. Yeah, and then we have Ursaluna, which now my adjustment is running a more offensive EV spread with Assault Vest and running Brick Break. Brick Break is for screens. I was actually running it on Hoopa before, but I found Knockoff to be more reliable, as Alolan Muck would always switch into this mon. But Ursaluna can actually break screens from something like Sandy Shocks, which while testing, I have had Sandy Shocks out of dual screens versus me, so kind of annoying, but really bulky set, and it can do what it does best. Same attacks as last time, except for the, same coverage as last time, I should say, except for the move itself. Fortress this time is going to be a little different. This time we're running Volt Switch for momentum, in case they bring in Skeletors to try to spin block versus Hazards, and we also have Counter. Counter is really cool because of the fact that if Baxcalibur gets out of hand, like for instance behind screens, it could be Weakness Policy, then we can also just counter. If we pop the Weakness Policy or proc it with the Body Press, we can actually counter at like a high amount of attack that they have and just destroy it, and they might not expect the counter. So I have that just as an emergency response, but otherwise it's a great momentum piece with pairing with Quacklevolt and Meowscarada, Volturn, and yeah, just hazard control in general, with heavy duty boots so that we can at least keep our sturdy, even if hazards are on our field. Finally, Screamtail is kind of the glue of the team, kind of puts everything together because of the fact that it can wish Ursaluna, it can wish Hoopa. I found that just being able to wish these bulky AV mons is just incredible for the longevity of the team, for the annoyance of the opponent, because if they can't knock us out, they're gonna get knocked out. That's as simple as that. But I do like the encore potential on this mon due to the setup potential, right? Like Baxcalibur is there, Swords Dance, encored. Yuxi, Calm Mind, encore. Galarian Articuno, same thing. And stuff like that. Even Orthworm, like Coil and Iron Defense and stuff like that. Super annoying, but yeah, the cool thing is, like, if he brings Coil or Iron Defense Orthworm, which I found to be kind of annoying last time, now we have actually a Hoopa that can blow it back. Secondly, we have Slow Volt Switch from Fortress, which can Volt Switch into Screamtail to Encore. So a lot of options. I do think we can kind of move around a little bit more with this team in particular versus the last time. Minor adjustments here and there, nothing too crazy that I changed, but yeah, some sets and stuff too. And Hoopa is, I think, the biggest change over Dudunsparce, because I don't expect that Dudunsparce will do well at all in this matchup for the second time around. Not because of only the unaware mon, but also because it's in his mind. We are in his mind with Dudunsparce. But yeah, we'll be starting this this game soon. Whenever it begins, we'll queue into the match, and I'll see you guys for the battle. Now I know what y'all are gonna ask me. Hey Emvee, what time is it? It's time to get a watch, cause it's playoffs time. Yes indeed. And we're taking on the same opponent from week 5 in a rematch for playoffs, where we 6-0'd with Dudunsparce, if you remember. Now, if you're my opponent and you get 6-0'd by Dudunsparce, I gotta believe that the only mon you're thinking of for this entire game is Dudunsparce, so I assume the team that he's gonna be bringing is gonna have like a lot of ways of dealing with Dudunsparce, which is why I don't have Dudunsparce on my team. I have Hoopa, the mascot of the channel, and hopefully the good luck charm of this game would be nice if you know, we're able to essentially put in a lot of work with this mon, because it's another of our Tera captains, obviously, and I did not want to give him the satisfaction of having a comeback story, a revenge story for Dudunsparce. No, we're not here to do that. We're here to win with Hoopa. Hopefully. So we'll see what happens and see what he brings here. I'm very curious and excited. And he brings Baxcalibur, Greninja, the what is that, Sandy Shocks, Alolan Muck, Electrode, and Yuxi. So what were the differences from last time? The differences on this team are Sandy Shocks and Electrode. So he is afraid of the Tera Water Dudunsparce. He really was. Okay. The team looks a lot more offensive than last time. I think last time he had like Paldean and Tauros. Because I definitely remember the 4 mons that came were not electric type. Oh no, he had Orthworm and Paldean and Tauros, and now they're swapped out for Sandy Shocks and Electrode. So it is a bit more offensive of a team. And in testing, I would lead off with either Ursaluna or Hoopa for that matter. I think Quacklevel actually looks really good in the late game. Hoopa looks great here as a lead. Because of the Greninja matchup, I'm not going to lead Ursaluna. I'm going to lead Hoopa, and we're going to go from there, I think. No Galarian Articuno is also a really great sign too, because that Mon is a threat, because it is another potential Tera captain. His Tera captain that he brought is going to be the Electrode for this matchup, so not sure what Tera is going to be. Could be Tera Grass, could be Tera Ice maybe, like the Jolteon that we faced in the last time. But yeah, hopefully we can win this. That'd be nice if we could. I mean, playoffs is always more intense, high stakes matchup here. But he leads back Excalibur's with Hoopa. Now, I know for a fact that I can live an Icicle Crash. My Hoopa is EV to take even a +1 Icicle Crash. However, do I want to get flinch turn 1? No. So I'm going to go into Fortress, I think is the play, so that I can kind of figure out the set, get more information. Definitely don't want to stay in and get flinched turn 1, because Icicle Crash and myself do not have a great relationship, especially if you remember week 1. My Dudunsparce, literally got flinched by an Icicle Crash Sneasel. And I think somebody brought up in the last time that we played, the last week that we played, that in week 1 we lost to Sneasel. In week 8, we beat the Hisuian Sneasel. So it like came in a full circle, and we beat a Sneasel on the way out. Pretty cool. But let's see what move he decides to go for here. Icicle Crash. Yep, indeed. The flinch move. He was trying to hax me there. Or maybe he just thought it would knock me out, but it definitely wouldn't have. I could have Tera Fairy'd and destroyed Bax, but didn't want to do that just yet. And lose Hoopa's HP, because Hoopa can actually be really good versus the Electrode, for example. I mean, AV, because double AV is super nice. The Ursaluna Hoopa AV combination is a personal favorite of mine from this season. Swords Dance. Oh my. Okay, so immediate Swords Dance on the Fortress there. Kind of crazy, kind of wild. But this is fine, because I'm pretty sure we can just go Screamtail and lock it in with an Encore. Because if they decide to Ice Shard, it's not going to do a lot. And I can just Wish Protect to heal myself back up. Encore again, Wish Protect, etc, etc. Then find an opportunity to bring in a Fortress to heal it back up to Sturdy level and do some damage. But they decided to switch out into Alolan Muck. Okay. So we get the Encore, doesn't work, of course, obviously. But we get to switch out into our Ursaluna. Figure out the exact set of this Pokemon. They're probably going to knock off here, I assume. Alolan Muck is a great Mon for sure. There's the knockoff. That did a decent amount. Hold up. Is this, that's like offensive as anything. Wow. I know in like the mock games that I played that Alolan Muck was not doing that much with knockoff, but that thing is super offensive. I don't know if it's banded or not, but wow, okay. So they switch out here. And yeah, it was Uxie, okay. I recognize the nickname from when I played him in week 5. That Body Slam did quite a bit. This is easily not as defensive as the other Uxie I played. So yeah, his team is actually kind of more on the more offensive side, right? I don't know what Uxie this is gonna be in particular, but this is definitely not full Fizz Def. That's for sure. Full Fizz Def would have sponged that a bit better from a Body Slam such as my own. A Crunch here should make quick work of this Mon, though. You know what else I was thinking about that I'm surprised that he didn't bring Skeleturge. He didn't have to bring Skeleturge when that's like the unaware Mon that's like the best thing to bring versus Dudunsparce. Especially the coil set that I brought last time. That would have been a super good bring. But no Skeledirge means that I can definitely see other mons putting in work for ourselves. They go for the mystical power. Special attack rise is fine. We can crunch. Now, I don't know if I want Ursaluna to get too weak. I feel like what I could do is try to position myself, because I definitely want to get the Tera off with Hoopa. Because that's what I'm thinking about. I want to get the Tera off with Hoopa, because that'll allow me to actually switch in better to Greninja, like Dark Pulses and stuff too. And also give me valuable resistances that I might need. And I don't want Ursaluna to like get too weak right now, so yeah, this should be fine. We can go Hoopa and I guess potentially we could either Shadow. I think the play is either Shadow Ball or Knockoff. Let's see what they go for here though. Stealth Rocks, okay, fine. They go for the Stealth Rocks here. So in fact, they might opt to save this Pokemon. They might opt to save this Pokemon because it's not at a amount of health where you maybe want to sack it. Especially when you have a counter like Alolan Muck that can just easily come in. So I'm very tempted to just Terra Fairy knock. I don't know if this is going to knock out Uxie or not. Based on the body slam damage, I feel like it'll do a decent amount at least. I mean, knockoff from this mon, it's pretty strong still. Even though I'm not investing in attack, but let's find out. Tera HOOPA'S. Amazing. Look at this mon. I just love it so much. Mystical Power. That's crazy to go for a Mystical Power like on a resisted mon. I also could have Tera Dark too, which I had it in my list of options for Tera. Oh, that lives. Okay, alright, whatever. But to go for Mystical Power there is kind of crazy. I could just Shadow Ball here now. This Uxie's pretty much dead. Oh, Encore. Oh yeah, right, because you know what was interesting is that when I played, after my week 5 game where I 6-0'd him with Dudunsparce, he was like, oh, I should have brought Encore on Uxie. Now he actually brought it, so I know he was thinking of Dudunsparce. I know he was. How could you not, right? How could you not think of Dudunsparce? But now I'm kind of curious to see what he wants to go into. It should be a Alolan Muck, right? Because everything else, well, I guess Excalibur could come in. I wouldn't want to stand on it anyways. If he goes Electrode, we can knock that off. If he goes Gren, we could potentially knock off, or we could switch out, I guess. If he goes Sandy Shocks, knock off easy. Yeah, like any of the special attackers can't really do much to Hoopa, so we should be fine. Taking a while to think about what he wants to send out, though. I'm very curious. Who is that again? That is Greninja. Okay. Actually, he might have Gunk Shot. The way that he brought that in, maybe he has Gunk Shot. I'm not sure, but possibly he might have Gunk Shot. So, yeah, maybe we sack Ursaluna here. Ursaluna is actually really weak, and it's gonna take rocks damage when it comes in. So I feel like maybe sacking Ursaluna is the play now. Because versus Alolan Muck, we saw how much damage it's doing. It's kind of doing a lot, so alternatively I could knock off here, but nah, I would definitely want to keep Hoopa healthy. If we keep Hoopa healthy, it can just come back in later and check this thing. It can just come back in later and destroy this Greninja. So I assume it's probably going to be Gunk Shot. The way he brought it in, it has to be Gunk Shot. Otherwise, or he might predict and try to go for another attack. So we bring in this Ursaluna. He goes for the Hydro Pump. Okay. Knocks me out. Oh, it's Battle Bond. Ooh, wait a second. It is Battle Bond Greninja. I actually didn't really prep for this mon. I didn't actually prep versus it. Did he bring it last time? Was that the reason why it wasn't Protean? Because it was Battle Bond? Ah, I think that makes more sense now. Probably should have looked at his team more, but I've been really busy this week. Okay, anyways. Let's think. So, according to the calc, this is Life Orb, Battle Bond +1, Greninja, Max Special Attack, Hydro doesn't even do like 50% to Hoopa. Would it be crazy if he's like mixed Hydro Pump and Gunk Shot? That'd be kind of crazy, right? If he was, that'd be kind of crazy. Worst case, like, because I could also go Scream Tail. I could go Scream Tail. Scream Tail could check this mon, but worst case, if Hoopa dies, I'll go Scream Tail and knock it out. Because Scream Tail, I just checked and it does live guaranteed. In any case, Hoopa just dodge a Hydro Pump or dodge something. He hit one Hydro Pump. Accuracy sucks, right? So I'd love to just be able to live this hit if possible. Yeah, because if Hydro Pump's the best thing that he has, he's thinking about this turn. If Hydro Pump's the best thing he has, then, I mean, we guarantee live it. And it has a chance to miss too. Oh, it is Gunk Shot. Ooh, it missed. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, Greninja. Greninja, goodbye. Good night, Greninja. Oh, that's unfortunate. In a playoff game too, but I'm still like, it's Hoopa, right? It's the mascot. Look, I'll take what I can get. I really will. But I mean, like I said, worst case, we go Scream Tail, and Scream Tail does live a Gunk Shot. It's not Protean, it's not Stab, and I'm very defensive on it. So, with Muck in right now, we just switch out into, I think, Fortress, try to get a Rapid Spin off. Gunk Shot Miss definitely sucks though, for sure. Puts me in a much better position. Big threat out of the way right now. There's still a lot of other threats like Excalibur and stuff, but just gotta watch out for it. Locks in a Gunk Shot. I'm still not sure if this is, I think it's choice banned, right? For on his Muck. I'm gonna probably just Rapid Spin here. I think is my play. Just so I can get rid of the rocks. Oh, it's not locked in. Oh, that's just maybe a boosting item or something, because that did a lot more than I thought it would to Ursaluna. But anyways, we got the Rapid Spin off. Got rid of the hazard. If we can get 2 Aqua Steps with Quaquaval, I think we win. I think if we get 2 Aqua Steps, we win. I think I'll just sack. Yeah, because I was thinking like, okay, so I did throw away my Fortress for a measly Rapid Spin, but I have Scream Tail healthy enough for dealing with Excaliburs and just like the Encore and stuff like that. I do believe, yeah, now is the opportunity to Aqua Step, because there's no shot we can set up versus Excalibur, the 2 electrics, so this is our best shot right now. I think whenever Alolan Muck comes in, we just get going with this mon. Quaquaval. Aqua Step, get some damage. Nice and strong, 2-hit KO. Speed boost. And then taunt. That's good for me. I mean, I don't know if that was a good move in general, but that's good for me. I don't know if you, yeah, maybe he expected like the bulk upset from last time or something like that to try to prevent me from continuously setting up, but yeah, Aqua Step is gonna go crazy right now because this mon with 2 speed boosts outruns Electrode and stuff like that too, so I mean, we're good. We are good. Yeah, and it's very difficult for him to switch out now, right? Because we're faster than everything. His last 4 remaining mons are this mon, Excalibur, Sandy Shocks, and Electrode. We've knocked out Greninja and we've knocked out Yuxi. And I do think that weakening, actually him throwing away Yuxi early kind of opened up Quackleval like extremely early. Earlier than I thought, at least. He needed to keep Yuxi healthy for this mon. Look at this. Now we get another speed boost and a Moxie boost. We might actually snowball here. We might actually just Quackleval snowball. From this point. Let's see. Hold up. Let's see. So we got the Moxie boost. +1 attack. Unless he like... Well, Tera Electrode can't live a close combat, right? I don't think. Even a max, yeah, like max HP Electrode or something couldn't live it. It might be over. It might actually be over right now. Oh. Let me show you the true power of a water type starter. One with 100% accurate moves on all 4 slots. Okay. So we see booster energy on Sandy Shocks. It's at +1 speed. The maximum speed that it can have is 331 times 1.5 divided by 2. My Quackleval is faster. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. And good riddance. Now with another Moxie boost and another speed boost, I think it's over. I think we've won our first game in the playoffs, moving over to semifinals. So quarterfinals. This was like quarterfinals, right? So then semifinals next. Nice. No Choppleberry. And the last mon, Electrode. I'd be disappointed if he chose not to Tera, at least for the theatrics. At least for the theatrics, you gotta Tera your Electrode, right? So we've shaken off the taunt. Like, this is what happens when you taunt a Quackleval. Quackleval's like, how dare you? Let me just speed boost and Moxie sweep all over. And game. And that's game. Yup, that's it. Aftermath. The Dudunsparce was like watching over from the heavens. The Dudunsparce was there for us. Ah. And that is going to be GG, it's Emvee. Not the cleanest game, but we've had our fair share of getting luck throughout the season as well. And it's time for the RNG Lords to pay up for the rest of the playoffs, hopefully. If Gunk Shot did hit, like I said, we would have to go into Screamtail to get the remaining knockout. We would, of course, have to reposition ourselves. But I do think it's worth mentioning that Quackleval still goes pretty crazy after Yuxi went down. Like, Greninja would have gone down. I don't think there would have been a scenario where he would have switched out. And then you would have had to hit a Hydro, a Gunk Shot, into another Gunk Shot. And we know what 90 accurate, less than 90 accurate moves do. We know what 90 accurate moves do. We've seen Draco Meteor miss quite enough. But yeah, I mean, it was a high risk thing to do, especially in playoffs when you have a move of that accuracy. I mean, it would have been great if it hit for him, but yeah, I mean, I'm happy with what happened because I definitely needed that. I definitely needed it for sure. It would have been tricky, but I do think Quackleval could have potentially pulled it off. As long as Muck came in at the right time, it would have been great. We still had Fortress at full health for backs or whatever, and priority. We didn't even bring out Meowscarada actually, which, if you think about it, Meowscarada's priority moves and Flower Trick for Sandy Shocks could have come clutch, could have come handy as well. But in any case, hope you all enjoyed first game of playoffs. Next week, next Sunday should be the next game for semifinals. Hopefully we can win. We're already top 4 now, but I would love to make it to finals. And yeah, I got to see how the others did. So definitely check out my opponent. He's a very nice dude. And I'll see you all on the next one. Peace.